shake it, baby. Oh yeah, shake it, shake it, shake it.
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy MMA Guy. In today's news, Dana White speaks on Alex Pantoja's injury, and he responded to upset fans on Arman Tsarukyan not getting the title shot.
Do you have a medical update yet on Pantoja? Do we know what his status is?
Yeah, they popped his shoulder back in. I thought it was the elbow.
I did too.
No, it was not the elbow.
Shoulder?
It was his shoulder. And they popped it back in backstage. And, now they got to do, MRIs and check out the ligaments and see how it is. So we don't have a time frame on how long he'll be out.
I know the Tuesday answer as well, but I mean, given the way that thing played out, if he's okay, do you run that one back right away? Do you see what he's doing first?
I don't think no matter what happens, listen, I'm no fucking doctor or anything, but I don't see him coming back anytime soon. I think that there would be a defense before he comes back. I think he's going to need some time.
Alexandre Pantoja speaks for the first time following his injury at UFC 323.
Hello guys, that's what happened, accidents. When I go to the UFC today, I think I'm having my best shape of my life. When I see Joshua Van out the other side of the octagon, I believe I can finish him in the first round. That's what I try to do. Best camp of my life, best catch weight, best everything, I feel so comfortable in the octagon. That's my octagon, that's my belt. That's everything I did in my life, in my whole life to that moment, And Joshua just came and win this belt. I talked with my wife about that. It's not just about myself today, it's about Joshua Van, Joshua Van, that's his destiny to win this belt tonight. And he just can win this belt with my injury today, And I talk with God gives him the message. And I really believe in God and all the message. I pray a lot. And I want to work very hard. I work very hard all my life. And I'm going to work again. And I'm going to take my belt again, I really appreciate all the message. Everybody know about myself. Everybody understand I'm a very respectful guy. I respect first my family. Then everything, I'm never gonna say bullshit about anyone. I just want to work very hard and bring my belt to my home again,
Joshua Van on potential critics after UFC 323 title win.
You win the title, but there's also going to be some criticism because people are going to be like, man, it wasn't technically, we didn't get to see much of the fight. So what would you say to the people that are going to, criticize you as well?
Well, fuck them, because, you know what I mean? If you do good, they'll say some shit. If you do bad, they'll say some shit. So do what make you happy at the end of the day. But, you know what I mean? I didn't planning on doing that either, you know what I mean? It just happened, and like I said, I want to run it back, man. We won. We put in the work, and we got the result, and now it's time to celebrate, you know what I mean? That's 5 months of training camp, you know what I mean? So you got to let your body relax a little bit and enjoy the moment,
Joshua Van wants to defend his title at least 3 times a year.
I ain't never been a champion, so I don't know. You know what I mean? So this is my first time being a world champion, and I'm gonna see what's up. My first camp as defending this title, I'll see how hard it is and things like that. So, and we go from there. But I do want to fight at least 3 times a year, every year. So maybe if we could push it 4, 5, let's go.
Demetrious Johnson believed Alexandre Pantoja would break his flyweight title defense record.
I truly felt that Alex Pantoja was going to be able to break my 11 consecutive title defenses. Even though he was only at 5, he still had 6 or 7 more to go, but I didn't see anybody in that rise that can give him the challenge. Granted, Alex Pantoja is 35 years old. Now that he has lost the belt, that clock starts all over, baby. Starts all over. And all I got to say is, when you think about trying to be consistent in mixed martial arts, whether I was ahead of my time or I was just that fucking good or everybody just sucked, as you guys said, showing up 11 consecutive times on weight, passing every single drug test, and being dominant and continuing to get better with flowing the mighty whiz bar and the flying knee and all that stuff, it just shows you how hard it is to do.
Petr Yan says he became a champion too fast in his first title run, making many mistakes.
Я как-то очень стремительно пришел к поясу. Очень много допустил ошибок в своих прошлых подготовках. Очень я сильно верил, что я все умею и умею бороться. По факту я ошибался.
You know, not exactly, but it was more of like I streamlined myself to the belt really quick. You know, I kind of thought that I already knew everything. I got all the skills for everything, you know, and I underestimated how much goes into this championship mentality and the preparation to be a champ.
Я знаю, какие я допускал ошибки перед теми поединками. Знаю, что где-то мне не хватало именно командной работы. И мы это исправили.
I know which mistakes I allowed myself to make before that first fight, and I know that the big thing that was missing was teamwork. And this is something that we fixed. We are now a team.
Merab tears up while recording an emotional message to his fans from Georgia. Dana White shows love to Merab after his loss to Petr Yan.
One of the toughest fighters that I've ever come across. And let's just say, Merab and I didn't get off on the right foot early on. I have nothing but respect for him and everything that he's accomplished. And yeah, and for Petr to come in and do what he did tonight. And I mean, the body shots and the head shots and the wrestling. I mean, it was an incredibly high-level fight that was, you know, what a hell of a way to end the ESPN era.
Petr Yan suggests Merab Dvalishvili and Umar Nurmagomedov rematch to determine the next challenge for his new UFC title.
So, if you had to choose, what do you think is the next step? A trilogy with Merab or a fight against Umar? And who do you think is a more dangerous opponent?
Вы же видели бой Мераба с Умаром. Вы видели, как он прошел, как он проходил. Кто более опасен был?
But you saw the fight of Merab versus Umar. You saw the way that fight went. So, who's more dangerous?
Они могут провести реванш, и мы посмотрим.
They can rematch, and then we can see what happens.
Up next, we have fighters' reactions to Petr Yan versus Merab Dvalishvili.
Holy smokes, there is a brand new UFC bantamweight champion. His name is Petr Yan. If you would have told me in March of 2023, after Merab Dvalishvili absolutely steamrolled, dominated, I mean, it was not even close. It was one-way traffic throughout. Remember that fight in Las Vegas, a fight night before Merab became champion? If you would have told me on that night that some 2.5 years later, they'd rematch and Petr Yan would fight Merab Dvalishvili the way in which he fought him tonight, and we'll get into it, but just to let you know what it was, in my opinion, it was 50-45 for Petr Yan. Now, the judges didn't necessarily agree. There were two 49-46s, one 48-47, which is absurd. I thought at worst it was a 49-46. It was a very fun, entertaining fight, but this was vintage Petr Yan. This was the Petr Yan who was wrecking fools in his first run as UFC bantamweight champion. And imagine 4.5 years ago, he makes the critical mistake. He hits Aljamain Sterling with the illegal knee. 3.5 years ago, he loses to Aljo in the rematch via submission. 2.5 years ago, he loses to Merab. Now here he is, once again, the man in the bantamweight division.
Payton Talbott on Petr Yan beating Merab, saying, never get too comfortable, champion or not.
One for me, did you happen to see the main event between Merab and Petr?
I did see it.
What did you think of the fight?
Phenomenal fight. That was crazy. They both looked unstoppable, like machines. It's crazy, the ceiling of this sport, and the weight class that I'm in right now. So it's really cool to see, and it's inspiring. So I hope to be there someday.
You mentioned that's inspiring. What are some things you took away from that high-level fight you just saw?
Man, you can just never get too comfortable. Like, champion or not, there's always going to be somebody that is just clawing their way up to the top. And the way both of those guys looked, like, based on the night, either one of them would win or probably beat anybody else in this division. So it just kind of shows that you always got to be on your shit. Like, you can't, even when you don't have a fight coming up, you got to really be making those improvements.
Sean O'Malley was hyped watching Petr Yan beat Merab Dvalishvili.
Round one, Merab versus Peter. I'm getting wild. Oh, Peter cracked Merab with a 3-2 down the pipe. Woo-wee. I think it's 1-0 Yan. Yan with a nice leg kick. Oh, Petr Yan with the double leg. Petr Yan puts Merab on his back. This is an interesting round. Oh, Peter lands a huge right hand. 12 seconds left in the second round. 2-0 Peter, we're calling it. Oh! Peter just picked up Merab and dropped him on his head. Holy shit, Peter looks good. Oh! Peter just kicks Merab in the belly. Oh my God, I've done this to him before. If he finishes it with a body shot, I basically did too. It might just be 3-0 Peter. Wow, Peter cracks Merab on top of his dumb head. Oh, he's wobbly. He's wobbly. He's going to finish him. He's going to get him out of there. Oh, he hit him with a liver shot. And Merab's just saying, I got to go now. Merab needs a finish going into the 5th round. It is 4-0 Petr Yan right now. Holy shit, literally. Oh, another liver shot. Minute 8, Merab bouncing around like he's on a trampoline and he's not. Merab's screaming in there going, ah! Peter shoots again just to stamp it. Oh, he fucking dumps him. 10 seconds left in front of Hunter. I gotta text him. I'm texting Hunter. Bro, Petr Yan, that was one of the most impressive performances I've ever seen. Imagine they give Merab a decision. If they give it to Merab, I quit. I quit fighting. Holy shit, Petr Yan got the job done. Wow.
Dana White responded to fans upset Arman Tsarukyan didn't get the title shot.
He had an opportunity, and you guys know how that played out. He's gonna have to work his way back. I don't give a shit what the number says. He's gonna have to work his way back. There's just too much goes into this for those type of things to happen. But you can't do that. You can't get the opportunity, and then it can't end that way. So he's got to work his way back. He knows what's going on. I don't give a shit what everybody else says. You know, he knows what's going on, and he's got to work his way back to that title shot.
Dana White reacts to Tom Aspinall saying he was disappointed with his reaction to the eye poke.
Tom Aspinall did interviews recently saying that his eye is not better. He was a little bit disappointed with some comments you made. Have you spoke to Tom? Do you know anything about that? And what's your reaction to what he said?
I have not. Yeah, I mean, I get it. I don't remember exactly what I said. What did I say? That his
just said you think that
I think his eyes are okay. Yeah. Here's the thing. So obviously, and I know Tom said, you know, I haven't even talked to him and all that stuff, but we have people all over him right now, you know, checking up on him, making sure he's good. Does he need any help or, you know, any specialists? Yeah, I'm no doctor. I'm just saying what I've heard. And that was in no way, you know, it wasn't said in a way that they're like, oh, what do you think? I said, I think he's fine. Or it wasn't like that. I said, I think Tom's eyes are good. He's going to take some time, heal, come back to, you know, that's all I said. I wasn't saying anything negative toward him. I think that things can be taken out of context, or he didn't see what I said, because I don't even remember what the fuck I said. But never once did I say anything negative about him or, you know, in a derogatory way. I'm sure he's upset and fired up, and, you know, he'll get better and we'll get him back in there.
Logan Paul said Dylan Danny is suing the UFC after getting jumped at MSG.
Someone asked, are you still suing Dylan?
I'm not suing Dylan.
Oh, it's not you doing it?
No, Nina is.
Oh, Nina's suing Dylan.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Your wife. Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Shit.
Yeah.
But I would bet a lot of money that he is preparing to sue Madison Square Garden and the UFC.
Oh, he's gonna sue them?
Mm-hmm.
But why? Who's in the wrong there in that situation?
his argument will be that when he went to Madison Square Garden, he didn't expect to get jumped by 10 guys. If you notice, he's going through all the concussion protocol.
Now he can't fight.
He actually didn't show up to a deposition and blamed his concussion protocol.
Wow.
He pulled out of his fight, and so he's going to be able to claim damages if he has a real concussion. But he probably doesn't. But he's playing the game and is gonna very likely sue them and probably win.
What?
Yeah, I think yeah. Wow.
Here we have Ilia Topuria reaction to Merab's loss, and he seems upset with Merab. He says, "Brother, life is full of twists and turns, but to us, you will always be the best. You will come back much stronger." What do you guys think of this?